Okay, so let's look at how you set up the Success Profile Builder and use it. So this is designed to help you identify the types of candidate, types of personality that you should be looking for. And what it does is it analyzes the actual work environment that you're offering and shows you the type of candidates that can cope with that work environment. So let's go over and have a look at it now. So you go to View Results and click on Success Profile Builder. And then the tool that we really use here is called the Work Environment Analyzer. And there's some brief instructions here, but it's pretty straightforward. So you've got two options here. You can either send this questionnaire to a line manager who is familiar with the job and they can complete that and register, which means that the other managers without access to the PeopleMaps control room can still complete this questionnaire and input that data to the system. So you don't need to give everybody access to the control room. Or you can simply create it yourself by clicking on Create New Work Environment. So let's just do that. So what you'll be faced with is this questionnaire here. Now, this is a personality questionnaire, there's a lot of psychology involved here, but what it is looking at is it's asking you questions which help the system understand the type of work environment that you actually have. And from those answers, the system can therefore produce an output that tells you, okay, people who can cope with that are generally found here. So this is what you're looking for. It's to help you identify that. So again, just when you've got a minute, take the time, go through this. It only takes 5 to 10 minutes to complete. It's only 5 questions with 4 statements like this. And then once you've done that, you're faced with a short registration form. It's got to be specific to a specific job role in a specific environment. So there's nothing general here. You have to do one for each job role that you're working with. Don't presume any generalities here. And it should usually be completed by the line manager who's most intimate with that specific job role. Essentially the person who'll be working with the new employee. So once that's done, you will see that your results appear here on this table. So we're back to View Results, Success Profile Builder, back to this page here. And if we click on here, you'll be able to view the results. So what you can see here is the number of credits available. So if you have credits or not. If you don't, you can simply go to buy credits and you buy more credits. Let's actually look at an example of a report. So again, it gives you the details of what was registered, who created it, so which manager created it would be essentially here, their email, the company, that sort of stuff, and what the position was, what they called it. So this was for the office manager in the Northeast. And again, you can save it locally and export it as a PDF document. So there's some description about the work environment itself, so you get an idea, but most importantly, there is this general area of the map. So what this map is telling us that candidates who are located in or around this circled area here are most likely to cope with your work environment better than candidates who are not. Other things you can look at are the score topics. These gauges are about very specific things. So the first one here is endless patience to solving customers' problems. Now this may or may not be relevant to your particular work environment, but it's also very interesting. It does apply to most jobs, these particular topics. So you can see here scoring 70, that's pretty high. They certainly are pretty patient when it comes to dealing with customers. We then look at natural enthusiasm, service orientated, can they prioritise important over urgent, do they put the people and the feelings of people before other things, and again what you see here is a whole bunch of different issues and it scores them between 0 and 100. Generally speaking, the higher the number, the more natural that this comes to them. So natural attention to detail, this person is scoring 90. That's someone who can't help but be detailed. So a lot of detail, a lot of information. This can vary, some of these gauges can vary from time to time, but you get the idea. So that's Success Profile Builder. Use that at the beginning of each new job that you're creating. Discover what it is you're looking for in an ideal candidate. Because once you know what you're looking for, it gets a lot easier to compare candidates against that profile and ensures that you hire naturals and people who can actually cope with the work environment that you are offering. Interview Pro we've already covered in the earlier video on how to set that up and view the results. Again, it's quite straightforward. The only thing I would add here is you use this report with your shortlist. And if you're going to interview any candidate, or you're even thinking about interviewing a candidate, then the more detail you have about them, the better. So it will guide you through it, it will give you questions to ask. It's a huge help when it comes to trying to understand who they are. And what you would certainly do is compare the candidate's map and where they're positioned on the map with the results that you saw in the Success Profile Builder. Okay, and finally I want to mention Onboarding Pro. Now, Onboarding Pro is the report that you use when you finally decide to hire someone. So once you've hired someone, you want to get the best from them as quickly as possible. And it's really to help line managers manage that new employee more effectively. And that's what this is all about. So again, there are a couple of versions, and you can go to Switch Reports and change those. So what you'll see, this is the one that's active. This is the general one that most people will use in most scenarios. New Staff Onboarding Pro. And again, just like Interview Pro, you'll see the results down here. Now, what I will point out is that once a candidate has completed the personality questionnaire once and registered, they do not need to complete it again. So you can read as many reports and as many different reports as you like about any individual candidate. You will consume a credit each time you open up a different report about that candidate, but once you've opened up that report, you can view it as often as you like. It doesn't consume more credits each time you open the same report. And again, if you did want to switch that one, there's really, at this stage, there's only two. So you go to Switch Report, select Onboarding Pro, and you'll see there's New Staff Onboarding Pro, which is what you'll use in almost every case. And the only other exception is there's an Onboarding Pro report specifically for sales staff. So if you're hiring salespeople, then this is the version you would want. And that's it. You can come back to the default Start Here page, the dashboard page, at any time to view these videos, or simply click on the logo. But the home page, when you log in, it's the dashboard page is where you're taken to, and the videos will be there. Use this system to reduce the risk in your recruitment, get more data about your candidates, and make better hiring decisions so that you don't have staff turnover issues, so that your staff performance and engagement is higher than you've perhaps been used to in the past.